I generally hate something that most people do when they start out video editing, and that is use of video transitions. Now, I am guilty of that myself. I used those effects and transitions in the beginning as well. Nowadays, I would say a simple cut or maybe a dissolve is all you need to have a nice edit. But over the last year or so, I have noticed a couple of really cool transitions that are not looking cheap, especially if you use them gracefully and not too many in one video. But having those possibilities like zoom in transitions, luma fade or anything like that is actually something that is super useful, and I would definitely recommend you to learn a little more about these, and YouTube is actually a really good way to start. Today I want to show you one of those YouTubers who is actually presenting those kind of transitions, how to make them, also the presets you need to make them, and his name is Chung Dha, and he actually provides tons of presets and transitions for you to download on his website, and I will have the link to his profile in the description down below so you can check it out for yourself. Now I want to go into some details of the effects panels in Premiere Pro, so let's switch over to the screen. Now as you can see, we are back in the offline weekend video that I had in the last video already, and there we have these nice mountains and waterfalls. What I did is I did a couple of the cuts here in the video just to kind of demonstrate the different effects that Chung Dha actually presents us with. And as I mentioned, in the link down below you will find his channel and especially his playlist with the effects. And those effects he actually presents in videos and shows you how to use them. So I will not go into detail how to use his effects. And sometimes it's actually really tricky to kind of get around those effects and understand them. In this case, I just want to show you a couple of them, and as you can see here, this is kind of the zoom in effect. So you can just zoom in between two clips and it zooms in quite nicely. Then I have another effect here, which is the pincushion effect. So it has this kind of, it is a different kind of zoom in effect, I would say, with going in as well as going out. And the last one is one of the effects where I would say this is probably one of the best effects that surfaced over the last year or two. And that is some kind of exposure fade or luma fade effect. And let's see how that looks. And there you go. And this is kind of a way to have parts of the video disappear and then reappear, or let something shine through from below. And as you can see, let's go frame by frame for a little. So it starts out with fading away some parts of the video and others are still there, and then you go over to the normal edit. And if you actually go into the details of this effect, you can make it all kinds of different ways. If you have, for example, a sky, you can have the sky disappear and the rest is still going to be there. And if you have a skyline, you can keep the skyline for a little longer than the rest. And it's really interesting to kind of work with these effects. But it is something that has to be done with quite a lot of detail. And I would say this is not something you will find in just a standard package. But that is also good because it's something that not everybody can or will use or invest the time to actually do. So as mentioned, the links is in the description down below where you can download the effects from Chung Dha. And he is really helpful in that regard as to present those and also provide them for free for us to use as well. Other things that I want to mention is that basically, other than the normal fade out or fade in effect, I am not using any of the video effects except for color correction, but that will be a different video. Other than these kind of more creative ways to make effects into videos, I am generally just cutting the video and jumping between cuts. And as I mentioned, use the fade out, which you can easily access by selecting the end of a clip and then Command D. And then you have this cross dissolve, which you can move around, make it longer or shorter. And what happens there is that it just fades out the film to a normal black. So you have a simple black after. I use that at the end of a video in general. And other than that, I generally don't use that many video effects because I think they mostly look kind of stupid or cheap. So if you want to do edits like Sam Colder or Sawyer Hartman, I have seen those two use effects like these, and for the most part I think they learned them just like we did on YouTube. So share this information, share the work that Chung Dha does with these effect packages and just giving them away for free. It is really good to work with them, and after you've understood them you can actually kind of customize them for your own needs. If this was helpful for you, please leave a thumbs up. Also, if you know anyone else who is sharing effects like these or transitions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always eager to learn more of these effects and kind of incorporate them in my next videos. Also in the description down below you will find a link to a playlist where I have all these filmmaking tips, gear reviews and Premiere Pro videos, and I talk about those things quite a lot. Now please subscribe to this channel to learn more in the next coming weeks and days. I am uploading almost every day, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, have a nice day, enjoy the sun, bye.